Hi guys, it's Chris from UK Homesteaders. Today we're making apple juice from apples we've picked from our trees, and we're going to show you how to do that. You can drink it as juice or you can turn it into cider, which we usually do both, but this year we're just going to keep it as juice. So if you come closer, Matthew, I'll show you what you need to do this. You need, firstly you need what's called a scratter. We tie it down on a pallet over a large bucket, and what this does is you put an apple in. Let me get a couple. You can put like 5 or 6 apples in at a time. Yeah, I'll video in here, Matthew. And then you turn it and it crushes the apples. If you look in the bucket, it crushes the apples into small pieces, and that makes it easier to crush when you put it inside this. So we'll show you in a bit what's going to happen. We just want to show you what equipment you need. So you need a scratter. If you don't have one, you can use a heavy piece of wood and a bucket and crush the apples that way. You need something to collect the juice from the press. We just use a pan, and then we pour the juice from the pan through this funnel into plastic bottles. You need, this is the net that goes inside the, if you go on Amazon or eBay and buy a kit, a press kit, you get a net, you get the wooden blocks, etc. to press the apples down. You need a chopping board, chopping big apples in half. And one more thing, with your press, it's good to screw it down to something like a pallet, because otherwise when you start turning it, the whole thing is moving about. And this is the apples we've got to press today. We've got 8 bags altogether, 7 here and 1 on the table. Yeah, so we'll pause the video now and carry on in a minute. So what we do, we cut the big apples in half, because then it's easier for them to go into the scratter. It chews them up easier. Because sometimes when you put whole apples in, they get stuck. So when that bucket's full, then we'll tip that into here. We'll put the net inside now. And then what you do then, I'll show you in a minute. You put these on top and use the blocks to lower it down, but I'll show you that process in a moment. Yeah, any mouldy apples we chuck away and give to the chickens. And from this 8 bags of apples, we'll probably get around 10 bottles of juice, something like that. Litres, 10 litres, let's say. Maybe a bit more. Anyway, okay. Speak to you in a minute. So we've been at it for 3 or 4 minutes and the bucket's nearly full. We tied down the bucket to the pallet, but we usually get one of the kids to hold it as well, because it does move about. It's quite hard to turn with some of the harder apples. We've got a mixture of apples, different types. So if you're making cider, that's perfect. And I'd recommend, if you do make cider, it's good to use like 25% cooking apples if you grow them. Otherwise you get a very, very sweet cider, which is really strong. So we're just making juice. So these are eating apples. Right, so now we've got our bucket of crushed apples. You put the net inside the press. It's good to get someone to help you with this. If you hold up the edge of the net, it's usually easier to tip in the apples. Try not to spill loads. hold it like that. You fill it up to the top. Then you press it down a bit like this with your hands. Hold that, and then you fill it up a bit more. Right, and you wrap the net over the top of it. And what you do now is you get these two wooden blocks that come with your kit. You put them around the screw. You make sure this cylinder is central to the screw. Matthew, come a bit closer. We got a few of these with the kit, but we had to cut some more. So what we'll do is build up like a stack like this. This gives you the height to, because when you push it down, the whole thing's going to collapse. And then you put, this comes with the kit, this block, and it's got a metal plate on the top. Can you pass me that thing? And then this screws onto this metal rod. It screws onto the top. Give me that, and you get this comes with the usual kit. We've found in previous years it's also good to put a bit of vegetable oil or something like that here. It stops it sticking. It stops this sticking to that. Anyway, we're doing a video, so I can't stop to do that now. Any bits of apple that's fell into your bottom of your press, just clear that out. And then, as this goes, it pushes all this wood down on top of the apples, compresses it, and if you look at the bottom, you look down here, this apple juice starting to come out. Would expect to get at least a litre from each press. You find it gets really stiff towards the end. So what we find is, if you do it as much as you can, then leave it for a minute, and then do it again. And the pulp, leftover pulp, we'll show you later in the video. We'll keep that. We have a compost it, or at the minute we've got some turkeys and chickens and geese. We'll feed the pulp to them. You can't get every last drop of juice out of the apples, but look at the colour of that juice compared to what you buy in the shop. Okay, so we've gone down about as far as physically possible. You don't want to twist it so much that you're going to break the press. But yeah, it's really hard to push around now. From one pressing, it's gone down to, the apples are here, so it's gone down like more than halfway, and we've got half a big pan, which I'm thinking is about 1.5 litres, something like that. So we'll bottle it up, then we'll do another press and see how we get on. Well, yeah, it's easy to do. You can, and also you don't have to have your own apple trees, because I mean last year we picked like 5 or 6 carrier bags worth from next door in Burton-on-Trent, next door to Tesco. There was just 2 apple trees, like no one picked them. So just, you know, in a public park. So we just, you can, if you keep your eye out, you can get apples. You don't have to grow them necessarily yourself. And it don't have to be any special sort of apple to make juice with. Yeah, cheers. It's a quick update. We got 2 litres and a little bit from one pressing. Waste apple pulp we'll give to our chickens. So it's like a free feed for them. Get close and show you then. But they love apple, and it's like a waste product they're going to come chuck away anyway. So the next load we'll give to the geese, and then we'll give some to other birds. So yeah. Little Alan, he's on the second crush. We filled this one up a bit more. We should get even more than 2 litres. Okay guys, we're getting there. We're getting a lot more juice per squeeze now. We're getting more apple in there. Nearly a full pan, and that's a 4 litre pan, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, getting there. We've got this much left. Another two bucketfuls, let's say. It's quite hard work, to be honest. We've been at it for 2 hours, and I think we've got 2 in the fridge, and what's in that pan, it's about 3 litres, and 5 litres here, so 11, 10 litres so far. We've still got quite a bit to do, so catch up in a bit. Right, we've had enough for today. We've got 13 litres of juice. That's some of the leftover pulp we'll give to the chickens and that tomorrow and day after. We've got a few more bags of apples, this one and a couple up there, which we'll do tomorrow because we've had enough. We've run out of bottles anyway, so, and I hope you got the gist of it. It's quite simple, it's just quite a bit of hard work. So we've been at it 2.5 hours for 13 litres of juice. Is it worth it financially? Probably not, but you've never had juice like it. So yeah, have a go. It's a bit of fun with the family. So 11 litres in bottles and 2 litres in the jug. Not a bad result for a couple of hours, and it's really thick, syrupy, sweet juice, not like the rubbish you get in the shop. In fact, you can mix it with half water and it will taste like, it will be the same consistency as the stuff from the shop. So make it last longer. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.